The Blazing Generation Initiative is here at it again. Welcome, distinguished guests and trailblazers, to the red carpet of the Eagles Assembly 2025, themed Maximizing Time and Youthfulness. We are about to have an amazing and impactful conversation with different guests from different fields to fill us in on the topic maximizing time and youthfulness. And I am your host, Abigail Adeye Mena, with an my amazing sweetheart, Yash. Welcome, girl. So I will want her to introduce herself properly to us. Let's hear you.
Yes, of course. My name is Viash Chukwudozie. I hope you're wondering what is happening here. Well, today it's all about Eagles Assembles Event 2025.
Yes.
And I'm definitely sure you'll be wondering what is Eagles Event. Well, you have to stick with us for you to see exactly what is happening and an amazing and exciting scenes capturing events from this coast.
So make sure you stick with us from now to the end of this event.
Meet up later. Please let us stand as we receive the convener of the conference for this year, Communal and new woman A.R. Wilson. Please put your hands together.
Very good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be standing before every one of us, and let me, in a very significant manner, appreciate everyone seated here. And our guests, very many of them are still outside, waiting to join us here. Let me recognize the presence of Barrister Amaramo Ojeke, ably represented by her worship. His worship, sorry. I have a beautiful issue with lawyers, right? Barrister Francis Kalenda is somebody I've known. One of the days I sent her a document. Lawyers are very meticulous with details. As much as I read communication, I think I know a little bit of English, so I pride in it. And I sent her a document and she was like, bro, don't feel offended. And I don't take correction, don't start. Okay, his worship. Thank you for coming. And as a matter of fact, she came very early, right? Dr. Val is also around. I respect and honor you, sir. His Grace, Archbishop Onyeka Chukwu Nzekwe, Barrister Francisca Linde Ezenabo. My very good friend from way back, I've forgotten his name, representing Comrade Boom, and he's a very strong leader person too. Trying to use, Alabama get us in dinner. Let me leave it at that. I celebrate you for coming, and every one of us, the host, Abigail, every one of us, my namesake, thank you for coming. All CEOs represented, and very particularly, I want to celebrate and appreciate Chief Seri Nwachukwu. He is the CEO of Gemstone Beverages. As a matter of fact, they are our key partners with respect to water. So everything water we are going to be drinking here, it's powered by Gemstone Beverages, a man who has great passion for youth, a man who has great passion for young people, a man who is very much concerned to see that every youth is productive and is engaged adequately. Thank you, and I'm still going to do this appreciation. My name is Comrade Anekunam Abraham Arts. I'm going to match up this time, alright? I'm going to match it up with the keynote, with the welcome address and the keynote presentation. The Eagles Assembly. Why is the Eagles Assembly? The Eagles Assembly is not just a conference, it's not just an event. Actually, before now, it's been a program that has happened for years under a different auspice. And this became imperative by virtue of inspiration to bet this idea in this form. And it was through sleep that it came, the Eagles Assembly, and I started thinking about it. Why the Eagles Assembly? If we understand the creature ego and that's an adjective assembly, we would understand why this is. It is a season, it is a program designed to actually bet the generation of next leaders who are adequately equipped, who are rightfully informed. That's why we are here. And beautifully, like I said earlier, God helped us to reach out to very profound resources that we got very scared about them accepting and our ability to actually host them. Because it's not about inviting people, it's about your ability to host them. And about 95% of them all obliged to be part of this program without any financial records, no payment and stuff. They actually dealt with themselves. So it's a thing I would say designed of God. Please. Now, why maximizing time and youthfulness? Essentially, I'm going to read a line from this setting. Maximizing time and youthfulness is not just catching, it is waiting. It forces us to reflect on one of life's greatest gifts, the season of youth. Youth, being a youth is not about you being young, it's not about you just being young. It's about understanding the fact that youthfulness is a season, it's a period in life. It's actually what I call the formation stage of life. That's where you have to invest all that there is for you to invest to become all that there is for you to become in life. That's the season of youthfulness. People often define it by age, like I said, but I would like us to think differently. It's not just about the number on your certificate, it's a season of energy, it's a season of creativity, it's a season of daring to dream big. It's a season of having a mindset that says, why not me? Why not now? And this question is not on the pessimistic or negative part. It's not on the angle of trying to be competitive. It's on the angle of trying to expand the horizon of your thoughts, your productivity, enlarging the scope of your mindset. And when we talk about daring to dream big, I'll tell us something. I'll be very careful so I don't sound in some ways. When we started reaching out to every resource person on this project, it became fearful. And I told one of the team members, when very many of them started obliging to come, I became more scared. And the person said to me, were you not envisaging that they would agree to come? I said, I expected every one of them to say yes. But the truth is this. By the time you get, if you understand life very well, by the time you get to the brink of success, there is the level of consciousness that comes on you. Be that as it may, the Eagles Assembly 2025 is happening because we dared to dream big. Understanding that seasons does not last forever will actually help us, because will help us to understand that this season of youthfulness will also not last forever. Age is, should I say, transient. You get to a certain stage in life, age-wise, where you lose your energy. You lose your ability to actually dare. Certain things we can do now as youths. We will come to a stage in life where we can no longer. You may want to, but if you are not able to push through now, at that state, you will not be able to push it further. And let's take further to the concept of youthfulness. Can you help me with the slide so I can just be a little bit? Go. Still go, sir. All right. Many misunderstand youthfulness. Very many of us treat it as an excuse for carelessness. I'm still young, I have time. Others treat it as a burden. I am young, so nobody takes me seriously. A number of factors conditioned why I'm very passionate about youth. One, key, is experiences. Areas that I failed, areas that I was victorious in. Talking about I'm still young and I have time, I would want to be very careful with giving references. A guy said to me, if I had known what he's in his 30s, he said, if I had known what I know now, the mistakes I made in the past, I wouldn't have made it. And what were his mistakes? He touched money very early and left east and went to the south. He was doing very well. And nobody knows him. Some boys, some friends of his, he helped them to travel out. But he was too reckless that he said to me, I used to say that before I'm 30, I would have done this and this. And now he's above 30. And he's had a very strong challenge that those people he helped are now sustaining him. Why did I say this? Time is not something we can claim that we have control of. Read that as it may. This is one deception that many of us youth have. There is time, there is always tomorrow. If we learn to actually decide and do it now, it's going to take us really, really far and fast. I want us to see youthfulness as an asset, your strongest currency. I was talking to a very strong billionaire in Nigeria. I don't want to mention his name. And he said to me, he said, the greatest deception that the youths have, that your generation have, is that you take a look at men who are giving their years, investing in process, and you want to judge where they are now, and push yourself to becoming like them where they are, forgetting where they are coming from. For any man that you see standing at the front, he's journeying through a process to arrive where he or she is at the moment. I'm not a lawyer. His worship will tell you, for her to have, there are other lawyers here that has not gotten to her stage. For her to have gotten there, I believe there are, apart from the number of years and the practice, there should be some other things that the law institution please allow me, considers to actually allow you to either write exams or whatever to climb to that cadre. So we must learn to be very much diligent and worship the gift of process. Process is one thing that makes you formidable, that makes you firm. Process that makes you, when you come to a certain stage and state of shaking in your life, because you've grown roots, because you've grown firm. Somebody said that the best way to grow is to first grow downwards. I was talking to somebody this morning, and we were talking and said, for you to actually soar, you have to first descend. That's how you gather momentum to soar. Otherwise, if you soar without gathering momentum, you will definitely come land crashing. Think of great inventors, thinkers, and entrepreneurs like Mark Zuckerberg. He was only 19 when he started Facebook. Chimamanda Adichie published her Facebook at 26. Many global movements and history were led by young people in their 20s through. But I want to put a clause to this. Yesterday, when I was going through this document, I thought there was a need to put a clause to that. Now, and that clause comes with a question. So if I have crossed these age brackets and I have not been able to attain certain heights, does that mean that I've lost? Truth is, because we are skipping things, there is a part of this document before now that said, many are youth by age, many are youth at heart. Even if you've crossed these age brackets, we should not really take that too far. If you now decide, if you've identified some of your mistakes in the past, and you are strong-willed to accelerate, I can guarantee that under heaven, you can still become. 2 years ago, I saw a woman that had her first degree at 80-something years, went to university and finished. Okay, my classmate is not here, apart from Chris. She got the raise hand. We got into school. I stayed at home for 9 years after secondary school. But because I was determined to go to school, with some of my friends, they're hearing it for the very first time. I wrote, jammed, pushed. University gave me admission. After I pushed it, I was supposed to do something with 1,500. I no longer get that 1,500. I backed out. Came again after like 3 years. The first was 6 years, then came again after 3 years. Which music was playing with me because I was now determined to go to school. I already had my order of priority or preference with respect to course, law, mass comm, and then this. So while they were playing with the law, I switched to Federal Polytechnic to do mass communication. Why did I say this? Irrespective of how long you think you've wasted, I got into school. Very many of my classmates, my youngest siblings, senior them, but they were my classmates. But you have to take off that mentality of you want to come from boss. I tell people, anybody who has gotten to where you are dreaming to get to is your boss. Respect that person. That person knows something that you need to know. Right? Very quick one. Okay, but here's the difference. The successful use time, the unsuccessful. Okay. Youthfulness is that rare combination of energy and possibility through. If you don't maximize it, you can lose it without realizing. Very true. Time is the great equalizer. No matter your background, whether you come from wealth or struggle, you and the richest person on earth still have 24 hours each day. That's one thing that God did. God made it irrespective of who. The system, the principle of divinity is equal for everyone. Now, how much you're able to make of it depends on how much you're able to also invest in it and invest with knowledge. That's the difference. It's not about your investment in it. It's your investment with knowledge. All right? The successful use time, the unsuccessful waste it. Please, let's run. Okay, imagine someone gave you it's 6,400 every morning. And the only condition is that by midnight, whatever you don't spend would disappear. What would you do? What would you do? You would spend it carefully, right? That's the question. And that's exactly what happens with us. We have 86,400 hours. Seconds. The consciousness of the fact that a second is a time would help us to recondition our time, our priorities, our preferences, our engagements. Knowing that every second you've spent in futility is gone and is gone forever. Essentially, every second spent in futility is gone and is gone forever. How do we blend time and youthfulness? When we talk about maximizing time and youthfulness, we are really talking about stewardship, accountability for your energy, your creativity, your opportunities, and channeling them wisely. It means building skills, not excuses. And building these skills, also like Uncle who's talked about, it's not just about what you do with your hands. I think that even building contact is a skill. A rich man in this mountain, resident in Anambra, was speaking with me last year. And he said, I now understand that no matter how much you have, you need people. He ran into a problem with his wealth. When I say wealth, I mean real-time wealth. He wasn't able to help himself. So I'm saying this to establish the fact that contact is a skill. Human relationship is a profound skill that if you have a great treasure. And I would like to wrap with this for want of time. There are 3 guiding principles to maximizing productivity as a youth. One is clarity of purpose. I want you to give me the next. Investment in growth and contribution to society. Let me end with contribution to society. And I'm going to end like this. For this program, when the host was talking, he said, our convener, this and that. No single person can actually make a big thing happen. Last year, one of our speakers said that the issue we have in Nigeria, the issue we have as a people is the fact that we want to have individual strength. And that's why we are failing. That's why we cannot be compared to most even African countries, because he cited South Africa. Now he went to a part of South Africa, you should know the story. And no vehicle there blast horn on the road. Everybody is so much coordinated that if you get to a traffic, you must wait for the vehicle that arrived before you to pass. If you blast horn, you enter prison. In South Africa, and they are that much coordinated. I'm saying this thing to say, when it comes to contribution to society, that's one thing we must learn. This program came up. Very big shout out to my friend Chris, the host. He traveled all the way from Ebonyi State yesterday to be here. And truth be told, like everybody, both the speakers, my committee of friends, lawyer in equity, Queen Esther, Engineer Philemon left his office to be there. My uncle at the projector, even teacher Icon. Very many of them came on this thing because they decided to partner to see that we execute this thing. Mr. Francisca, she's covering her face. Until we decide to invest in others. Somebody said to me, he said, bro, all of these contacts that you have, this is how I close mine. Why not you assemble them and first build yourself? Another person said, all of these programs you are putting on, why don't you add gate fee? And I said, if we want to grow ourselves, why adding gate fee? Why knowing that if I have a reach that can help every of the youths? Was it yesterday? Charlie Kirk was murdered. And I cried this morning. That guy, as much as I'm concerned, he's not doing anything wrong. He's trying to, like we are doing here, to help the community of young persons to think out of the box. And somebody got so upset and obsessed with the relevance of that guy and shot him. That's how depopulated the youths have come. Not just in Nigeria, everywhere. God will help us as much as we are committed to ensuring that we're giving our best. I believe that we'll be able to redeem time and season. Thank you.